Call the meeting to order. I remind everybody to silence your cell phones. Appreciate it. I guess I should do that too. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Paul.
Here.
Vice Mayor Lewis.
Here.
Councilmember Whitman.
Here.
Councilmember Hatton.
Here.
Councilmember Starkey.
Here.
Mr. Lemack.
Here.
Mr. Lewis. Mr. Holste. Mr. Weinthal. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Before proceeding with the public comments, I'd like to take a moment to remember our dear Dana Phillips, who recently passed. As always, a very diligent individual we all loved, worked in code, and our condolences to her husband John, who works in engineering. And also our dear Chief Kinsey's father passed away, and we'd like to remember him as well. A moment of silence, please. God bless. Thank you. The beginning of our first meeting of the month is set aside for public comments. People are invited to speak, and you're not limited to the number of topics. However, you would not be permitted to speak on any item that is on the public hearing agenda. You may speak on that item when that agenda appears in order. You'll be limited to 3 minutes to address the council, and we'll start off. I usually start off at the first row, so there's nobody in the first row. I see Mr. House is here. Is there anybody else who wishes to speak? Tony, you're on.
Good evening. Thank you for this
Could you
time.
state your name and address, please?
My name is Frederick Anthony House. I live at 14201 Southwest 20th Street, Davie, Florida 33325. I'm a 23-year resident. I've been on a learning curve recently, not aware of some of the laws that are on the books. And last year we had an issue with a neighbor calling on. I had some friends. I'm part of like a motorhome RV traveling community that I've just recently got into, and I had some friends come over last year and stayed on my property. I was not aware of the law that you are not allowed to have anyone living in any vehicles anywhere on the property except in the motorhome park. I complied to that. I have a letter from my attorney that everything was settled and satisfied with that whole issue. However, there wasn't anything mentioned about being able to have trailers or anything on the property. Just wasn't mentioned. I even talked to my attorney about it. She said, well, they said it's okay. And a couple of the trailers that were on the property just stayed there, and nobody said anything to me about it. And so I apologize, I was assuming that trailers were okay. And I just went to, a lady went to the city yesterday and looked up and asked questions about the law, and apparently nothing's allowed on the property. I'm an R1 zoned rule, and apparently there's nothing allowed on the property if it's not registered into my name. Now, I was very surprised at that. I mean, as a taxpayer and everything, and you work hard to have a property, and especially something I never knew I was moving into what appears to be now an HOA, and it's kind of how it feels. These laws pop up, and it gives people that don't like you guns to move in on you and complain if they don't like you. And I've seen so many different changes in this town in the town regarding variances. And I'm wondering, the question is there anything that can be done instead of just the word no? You can't do that, that I can get a variance or some sort of something to allow me to be able to put a couple of trailers on my property for friends. And it's just basically started a war now. And my other neighbors, I apologize, I didn't come with a prepared speech or anything like that. This is just this whole thing has gotten out of hand, and now it's turned into a really nasty situation. And I just need options. I'm asking the council for options. Is there anything I can do to comply and as a variance, some sort of variance or something?
I would imagine, Mr. Weinthal, you might want to answer that question, not now, but
Okay.
that would be the person to
I have a
talk to.
meeting afterwards.
What I could do is I'll step out and get his information, and I'll come back in really fast, and I'll reach out to him afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Is there anyone else that wishes to speak? Don't all come up at the same time. Okay, then I will close the public comments portion. What? Yeah, they all know I'm cold. We'll go on to the consent agenda. First thing I need to do is table item 17, which is in public hearing, budget amendment. I have a motion to do that to January 18th.
So moved.
Motion.
Oh, go ahead.
To table to January 18th?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. I'll be on the consent agenda. I'll be pulling 1, 2, and 8. Councilmember Whitman, do you have anything to pull?
No, ma'am, I don't, thank you.
Vice Mayor?
I'm good, Mayor, thank you.
No, ma'am.
Susan?
None for me.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda minus 1, 2, and 8?
Motion to approve consent agenda minus 1, 2, and 8.
And there's a second from Ms. Whitman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you. Item number 1 is a proclamation on Human Trafficking Awareness Day. Vice Mayor Lewis is going to read it. And I have here that Detective Granite and Sergeant Marseco are going to accept. There, okay. May I have a motion to approve number 1, Human Trafficking Proclamation?
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you. Go ahead, Marlon.
Whereas human trafficking is a modern-day form of slavery and victims of human trafficking are subjected to force, fraud, or coercion for the purpose of domestic servitude, forced labor, or sexual exploitation. Whereas human traffickers target men, women, and children, both U.S. citizens and foreign nationals, isolating them from society and supportive networks, and exploiting them for personal and monetary gain. And whereas victims of human trafficking suffer emotional, psychological, and physical horrors at the hands of their captors who instill fear to keep them enslaved. And whereas human trafficking is the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world today and is tied with arms smuggling as the second largest international criminal industry. And whereas by estimates as many as 25 million people, adults and children, are trapped in some form of human trafficking worldwide. And whereas human traffickers view Florida as one of the most attractive destinations and transit points for their victims. And Florida is the third largest hub for human trafficking in the United States. And whereas Floridians are committed to protecting the vulnerable and ending human trafficking through continued prevention, prosecution, education, and awareness. And whereas Floridians are committed to sending a strong message to perpetrators that Florida is a zero-tolerance state for all forms of human trafficking. And whereas Floridians are committed to protecting victims' rights and restoring their dignity and freedom. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the mayor and the town council of the town of Davie do hereby proclaim January 11th, 2023 as Human Trafficking Awareness Day. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. You would like to say a few words?
Thank you all very much. Just wanted to update you and let you know that the police department, along with the FBI, we've had some, in the last year, we've had several cases that we were able to make some arrests and successful prosecutions for substantial sentences. So it's been a successful year so far, last year, so we hope to keep that going this year with our operations. So thank you very much for the proclamation.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do. And I just wanted to mention, I had a member of Seroptimus International of Davie ask me what the possibility was of having the Hard Rock light up orange, since that is the color that represents the fight against trafficking. And so I was going to ask the administrator to see if there was some way that we might be able to do that. So I think that would send a great message as well.
Yes, yes, it would.
Thank you.
Mayor?
Yeah.
I've also had a request over the years to try to do something like we did once before at the truck stop, and have Truckers Against Trafficking, and they would pass out, and I know the FBI and as well as Homeland Security had given out the stickers for the truckers to be able to put on their cars and their cab truck, and that way the victims would know that that's a safe place to contact them. And the awareness worked. We did it once, and we were going to do it again, and so many other things happen in place of it. But since it's January, do you think something like that could happen, or at least get them posters in their bathroom or little cards that we had put in their offices as well?
Certainly. I'll coordinate with the FBI and try to get the cards to at least get out there, and if not, we'll try to coordinate something for an event out there as soon as we can.
That's good.
Thank you very much. I know that Seroptimus would also like to volunteer to help.
Yeah.
Because they asked me about that.
That's one of their major projects that they.
Yeah, the last couple of years with the COVID, they haven't had the art exhibit, which was always really nice each year.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and thank you over the
Thank you
years.
very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Proclamation number 2 is for Martin Luther King Jr. Days. Councilmember Whitman will be reading that, and Jeff Pullman will be accepting it. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
That's the proclamation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you.
Whereas the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, and was assassinated at age 39 on April 4, 1968. And whereas Dr. King preached equality through nonviolence change and was a leader of the civil rights movement in the United States of America. And whereas Dr. King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. And whereas Dr. King's actions were directly responsible for the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And whereas MLK Day was made a national holiday on the third Monday in January by an act of Congress signed by President Reagan in 1983, making this year's holiday Monday, January 16, 2023. And whereas the town will honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on Sunday, January 15, 2023, at the Pine Island Multipurpose Center. And whereas the town of Davie recognizes Sunday, January 15, 2023, and Monday, January 16, 2023, as Martin Luther King Jr. Days in loving memory of this great American. Now therefore it be proclaimed that the mayor and the town council of the town of Davie do hereby proclaim Sunday, January 15th, and Monday, January 16th, 2023, as Martin Luther King Jr. Days.
Thank you very much. Are you going to talk about the event? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Town Council, Administration, staff, and public. Jeff Pullman, Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department. Just want to remind everybody about our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration here on Sunday, January 15th at 1 o'clock p.m. We'll be in the gymnasium here at Bamford Sports Complex. We'll have live entertainment, light refreshments, as well as poetry contest readings for the day to honor Dr. King. So we invite everybody to come out. And we'll present the proclamation to our guest speaker on that day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, number 8 I'm asking this to be tabled. It's a rather large salary that was unbudgeted, and I just would like to have more information and discuss the position before moving forward
That's
with it. So
number 8?
may I have a motion to table?
Wait a minute,
That's-
that's not R8, Mayor. Fleet management says for number 8 on our.
That's what I said, fleet management
you
is
said
number
it's a large
8.
Salary, something.
Well, it includes a new position.
Oh, because
If you read the
backup.
backup, it includes
Okay, that's, just wanted to check we're both on the
a
same.
new position that is a hefty salary, and it is not budgeted, so I want some
No
more
problem.
information. I
No
want to
problem.
discuss it.
Yeah. that's-
So may I have a motion
So
to
moved.
table?
Number
Okay.
8, contract amendment.
Thank you. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you. That, we'll move on to public hearing. This is a public hearing portion of the meeting. Number 16 is the capital improvement program. Mr. Weinthal, would you read the resolution by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. A resolution of the Town of Davie, Florida, approving the First Amendment to the 10-year capital improvements program for the Town of Davie for fiscal years 2023 through 2032, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this may come forward at this time. All right, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Anybody on council have any comments? I just want to thank Leona Henry for really doing a good job with this. Appreciate it. A lot of things in there that are really, really important, and we to move forward with that. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second? Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Lewis.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton.
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 17 has been tabled. Number 18 is a code amendment. This is the second hearing. Mr. Weinthal, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, amending the following sections of Chapter 12, Land Development Code, Section 12-33, creating paragraph NN, floating solar facilities. Section 12-152, tree removal, relocation, permits exceptions, and Section 12-208, requirements for off-street parking, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Is there any member of the public who wishes to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any of council have any questions or concerns? No, thank you. May I have a motion to approve in a second, please?
So moved?
Second.
Code amendment, right.
Number 18.
Roll call,
code
please.
amendment.
Vice Mayor Lewis.
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes,
Councilmember Hatton.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
thank you. This closes the public hearing portion of the meeting. Do we have any appointments that need to be made?
Yep.
No? Okay. We have listed here our, and this is the biggest shock of all of a sudden, the council vision and goal setting
right.
session. Oh, my God.
March.
That's March, but still, it's seeing the dates for the budget workshops and so forth is like,
Be here before you know it.
yeah, I know. That's, but where's the time go? Now, could those dates change depending on the school board budget hearing dates? Because we're not supposed to conflict with them, correct? Okay. So we'll just hope that they don't. And if they do, then we'll make the changes. Okay, now we're going to comments, and I'm going to start today. I've got a lot of stuff. Huh? Of course, I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. We have a request to do an Eagle Scout project at Oak Hill Park. Wesley Grant, who's from Troop 128, and Davie wants to do his Eagle Scout project at Oak Hill Equestrian Park. His proposed project is to install a 16 by 16 horse corral near the restrooms, similar to the two we have at Robbins Park. South Florida Trail Riders are in support of the projects and one of the ones that initially engaged Troop 128. The corral will allow riders to secure their horses while using the park restrooms. The proposed project has been reviewed by Public Works Department and Parks and Recreation Department, and I'd like to ask Council tonight for your support of the project. I see all thumbs up. Thank you very much. And the troop has also shown interest in the mounting block project that we had discussed at one of the past, and this was brought up during a meeting. The troop plans to complete the mounting block project as a future Eagle project in the park, so that's good to know. Speaking of parks, Joy Yoder Park needs some work. I have an email here and some pictures. It seems that kids have been using the round pen for their dirt bikes, and shows you the tracks of all the bikes in there, and there's got to be some way you can control this. The other thing is the dressage ring, and we've talked about this many, many times before. It's very rocky. I've had someone indicate to me that they want to use it, but they can't because it's too rocky. It has to be a smooth, sandy base, not too deep. And I'd like to, and the signs keep getting moved or taken down. So I'd like to ask that a little more attention be given to Joy Yoder Park, and that we can spruce that up. She was a very wonderful person that we all knew and loved dearly in the town of Davie, and to have this park named after her, I want to make sure that it's kept in good condition for people to use. I appreciate that. I'll give this to the clerk so she can give it to. I also wanted to bring to everyone's attention the Florida Beverage Association announced application period for 2023 community grant programs that are open to, are you aware of this, Leona? Okay, good. Then I don't have to go into it. That we make sure that we find out if there's anything that we can apply for through that. Also, I wanted to mention that Flamingo Gardens has a lot of good things coming up. One of them being the 90th anniversary of the Ray home, and they're going to have, it's going to be in February, so I'll bring it up again. But just keep in mind, be prior to Orange Blossom. Excuse me. I think you all remember this last March when one of my sheroes was Linda Wood, and unfortunately she's not doing well. She is in hospice right now, and I just want to make sure that everybody says a prayer for her. There's just no words. Do we still have the open ride at the rodeo arena on Thursdays? Oh, where did Jeff go? Oh, okay. I'll go to the next one. I just also, okay. Jeff, do we still have the open riding at the rodeo arena on Thursdays?
Not right now, but we can re-implement that.
Yeah, because I've had a number of people that have contacted me to say, where can we ride? If the weather's bad, if there's a covered arena or something that's more controlled, and I said, well, we used to have this, so let me check into it. So
I'll follow back up with the Davie Rodeo Association because it fell under their insurance because it was kind of the umbrella that they had to be
Right.
a member of the Rodeo Association. So we'll follow back up with them because we're still working with them on the weekly jackpot series as well.
okay, because and they said, why does it have to be Thursday? I said, well, if we have an event on the weekend, they're cleaning up on Monday, or they're setting up on Friday, and since they prepare the arena for the Wednesday night, then it's good, for Thursday. So that's really the best way. And I don't remember the number of hours, but having a longer period of time that it would be open would also be helpful. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll follow up with the Rodeo Association.
Okay,
I'll keep
thank you very
updated.
much.
Thank you.
Just wanted to let you all know that I've been invited and I accepted to be on the host committee for the JCC Maccabi Games. Those will be coming up, and I'm sure they're going to be using a lot of space in Davie to carry out that whole program. And then finally, very excited about this. The $850 that we requested from Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz for body cams for PD was included in the omnibus bill, which was signed. So it looks like we're all good to go. So we're very excited about that. And I think that's what I will end with. Councilmember Whitman, you're on.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, I want to start by wishing everyone a Happy New Year. It is nice to see everyone's faces again and to resume our regular meeting calendar. Our annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration will be held on Sunday, January 15, 2023 at Banford Sports Complex. The event will begin at 1 p.m. It will feature live entertainment, light refreshments, and the poetry contest reading. If any students are interested in participating in the poetry contest, please submit your entries by January 9th. There is so much more you can learn about the lifetime achievements of Dr. King, and this event is an excellent opportunity to do so. I hope to see you all there. Of course, I couldn't leave without wishing all the January babies a happy birthday. As we embark on a new year, I hope everyone accomplishes the goals they have set for themselves. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Since this has been such a long meeting and you're cold, I'm going to cut a lot of my comments quickly. But all kidding aside, I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season and a healthy one. And I'm really excited about this upcoming year. There's a lot of exciting things that are going to be happening in the town and just in general. You look around, you look how downtown's changing. We have things that are going to be happening in 2 new parks. This is going to be an exciting year, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I just want to remind people, too, that if you need me, feel free to call me. You don't just have to worry about emailing me because I'm in my vehicle a lot as a contractor. So, my phone number is out there. If you need me, I tell people, I'll get right back to you. Leave a message. So please, if you need to talk to me, reach out to me. I love hearing from you. Mayor, that's about it. And so you'll be in warm weather soon. Thanks.
Carol?
Thank you, Mayor. Wish everyone a Happy New Year, healthy, Happy New Year. I was nominated to be on the Broward Educational Foundation of Davie Cooper City Chamber, and I was elected to do so, so I'm excited about that. There's going to be a celebration of life for Yvonne Seacrest in Everglades Lakes Clubhouse Saturday, December 7th at 1 o'clock. If anybody is interested in attending, all are welcome.
I'll be there.
Excuse me?
I'll be there.
Yeah. So I'm just looking forward to a better year than the way my year ended up this year. So I'm wishing everyone a happy and healthy new year. Thank you, Mayor.
Susan?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things are being brought to our attention from Broward County. I know that staff has been following that. One is the E911 system and the negotiations between the Broward Sheriff's Office and the Broward County. I'm hoping that, they come to a conclusion quickly, because I hate to see if there be any issues that would be unresolved. We fought so long to get a consolidated 911 system for obvious seamless responses throughout the county, and it seems like now they're getting down to, battles again, and it's just, so if you could keep us up to date or on anything that seems to be going on with that, please let us know. I know I'm following it with the League of Cities, and, our board of directors should be discussing that at Thursday's meeting. So if there's anything you think I should bring to their attention other than the letters that we saw going back and forth, let me know. The other thing I'm looking at is the community meeting that's going to be held on January 11th at 6:30 in Cooper City. It's a public participation meeting regarding the Islam's proposal that they had to expand some additional classroom space and some road improvements. I'd like to work with staff on some ideas I have on possibly dead-ending the 58th Street. I think it's 58 or 59th, hold on one second. Because after talking to the 11 homes that are there along, which is in town of Davie, maybe we could dead end 59th Street and have a small roundabout or turnaround at that point. So I'd like to be able to talk to Jonathan and David about that if I can. Rick, I don't know who you want to take point on that, but I'd like to have it before that meeting, January 11th, if we could work on something so we can propose that. I was on the phone with Dennis Mealy today. Even though it's Cooper City's vote, he's well aware that it's going to impact several of the residents in the town of Davie, and they're my district. So I want to make sure somehow we can address those concerns of the cut-through traffic that's going to be coming, as well as what is existing between the Chabad as well as the Christian church on the corner at the opposite end. So those are the two big deals that I have. Another meeting that we're going to have is the Chamber's Women in Business, and that meeting will be January 11th at 8 a.m. at Sweet Alchemy Confections. So it's a lovely place, ladies, if you have a business or just want to come and listen to what they have to talk about. This month's discussion will be about estate planning and other things you might have had regarding estate planning and preparing any kind of wills or other things you might have. So that's going to be at 8 a.m., again, January 10th at Sweet Alchemy. A little early, but maybe worth it. Apart from that, I want to wish all of you who are listening, especially here at staff, happy New Year. I'm so happy to be home and back in the great country of USA. Bahamas was nice, but I tell you, there's no place like home. We are so blessed here, and definitely blessed in the town of Davie. So I look forward to a very good new year with all of you and achieving all of Davie's goals. So thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Mr. Lemack?
Thank you. I do have a couple of things tonight. Just waiting for my computer. Okay, thank you. What I would like to start with is I'm starting to introduce it. I'm going to ask John Vogt, our town engineer, to start coming forward. As you recall, we've heard from Mr. Post over the last couple of years. Well, I didn't want to say that. And he's from the Davie's Last Frontier. He's been seeking a horse crossing at Davie Road for a long time. And As you know, we engaged John into taking the lead with Broward County traffic engineering, and I believe that John's here to share with us the positive results of a solution, and I wanted him to share that with you. John, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you, sir. The map that you have here, anytime we make a request to Broward County, we have to kind of guide them and lead them to what we want for our answer. And so looking throughout the corridor, I mapped out the trail from his little horse farm there in which he a path to get to the Griffin and Orange Drive linear park. So what you see there is a layout on how he can get there, and he can get there through 49th Street or 49th Court. 49th Court right now is just a overgrown area with eureka palms, and so we're looking to see if we can work with the neighbors there, because that is a public right-of-way, to kind of clear that area. So that creates a little horse trail there as a possibility. So we're looking at that as also another possibility. And with that understanding, where we're crossing Davie Road, that's where we put the horse crossing signs in, so that riders or drivers know that there could be crossing that area. And then once you get across Davie Road, then you can follow the roads and you can go through the school property and all that to be able to get to the signalized crossing and the bridge crossing to get to Orange Drive. And that kind of provides you that North Trail route to be able to do that. And then, and a little, just a closer look, you can see, I just blew it up a little bit so you can see he travels down the sidewalk that he does today. There's the crossing area at 49th Street and Court. And he can then travel all the way to be able to get to the newly replaced bridge over the C11 Canal to get to Orange Drive. And then additionally, in the future, we've been, we're looking to try and, coordinate a possibility to get to the park to the west here. Wolf Lake. And so this, in the future, we're looking at showing them another possibility as we work that path out, that we may want to have signs in the future there. So that's kind of what that does.
Yeah, because I was just going to say that it shows Mirando.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of horse boarders there. And the kids cross to go over to the last frontier to use their ring from time to time and practice. So that south one is very important too.
So I'll work on that as well then.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Okay.
But
So,
if we can get a way through west to get to Wolf Lake, that would also, that lower signage would be important, because then Frontier Village can go south and then go west as well, so.
Absolutely.
Question, Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah, we always tried to work with FP&L. Has there been any, help with that, which is that arrow that you have here to cross over the canal,
That area, that's one of the areas that I know that we're trying to develop with FPL to utilize to be able to connect to Wolf Lake. So that's one of those long range, look, how can we work together to do that? I know, and the property owners that they have, I
Yeah,
guess,
that's always
leased
been
the
a-
lands.
There is a
they lease the
canal
lands
that
to them.
needs to be crossed, so.
That's the point, and we always
Yeah.
said that, work with FP&L, and
Yeah.
then we
There's a
can
canal
fix
crossing.
the crossing.
Yeah, there's a
They
culvert
have some-
crossing right
They
there.
have existing leases there too,
Yeah.
so we've
You
been
have to work with
discussing
them.
with them.
Yeah, it's been the long-range master plan for, I think, our trail system for a long, long time.
But
since
just,
Marcy Nolan.
Making sure where do we need the crossings, just laying that, a little planning, a little persistence with the county, and then sometimes we can get what we want.
We appreciate it. Is there any timing?
Well, they said yes, so I'm assuming in the next, I would say, 9 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks.
Oh, God
But
bless you.
it's because of scheduling and stuff, but I'll push it. I'll push it. Okay?
God bless you.
Good news, they said yes.
Thank
So
you.
that was the
That's
good news.
wonderful, thank you.
He wants to be the first one to take the horse across there. We're going to teach him how to ride. He'll take the first horse across the
okay.
street. Thank you, Mayor. I have one more thing. I just wanted to update council back on when we started the recruitment for 2 code positions that we're going to have specialty services. Well, we've been through everything. We've been unsuccessful in trying to find specific criteria for somebody with animal and farming specialties. But interesting, since that time, that we know we still have that need, we have other needs that we've seen as well, and decided that we think it's best to go in a little different direction. As you all know, we've been dealing a lot with, and code has had a tremendous demand regarding Airbnbs, and believe it or not, manufactured home communities that have very large population in the town of Davie. So my suggestion was that that we would go ahead and take this opportunity now that we have new leadership. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to introduce John Ligori in a minute, a new co-compliance director. But with new leadership, we also have a new revised reporting structure where our new code manager, our compliance manager, will be reporting directly to Assistant Chief Poland. So there'll be more direct access over the organization control. And so what we've done is we're going to go ahead and go out for those two positions, fill them with the special, and offer specialized training to all our existing code as well as the new ones coming in that have large animal backgrounding training. They'll be including everything else I mentioned, Airbnbs, et cetera. And the new two positions will be required to still work on the weekends. So that was a void that we were hoping to fill and increase. So with that, we hope in the coming weeks, we're already out on the streets with that through HR. And in the meantime, I'd like to take the opportunity so that we all put a name with a face. Mr. John Ligori, our new co-compliance manager. John, if you'll step up. John's been around. He's got a great extensive background and interpersonal skills, and I think we'll be seeing some renewed initiatives. John?
Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. And in the few weeks I've been here, I've met a lot of people, and you have a very beautiful town and great staff and support staff. So I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You can see from one of our speakers here early and our public comments.
Correct. I've met Mr. House before prior, but again, it could easily be resolved with just discussion. So.
Right. Thank you.
Sorry. What is your last name?
Ligori.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the family.
Thank you,
Welcome.
ma'am.
Thank you. That's all I have, and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Mayor, I'll keep it brief. As council knows, whenever I have an update regarding some class action lawsuit that we're a part of, I always give it to you as soon as I can. So the town got a nice end of the year gift. Many years ago, well, I say many years ago, pre-COVID, there was a price fixing with some car manufacturers in Michigan, and the Florida AG's office went after them. The town signed on, and the end of the year we received a check for $35,548.16. So a nice little end of the year gift, but it was an older case. It took a while, but we finally got some money. So.
That's nice. I should buy a new car, right?
With today's pricing, I'm not sure, but
Very good. Thank you. If there are no objections, we're adjourned. We're adjourned.